Hi guys, it's Elena and I'm enchanted to have you be here on my channel. For today's video, I'm doing a June plan with me. I'm going to be using a bunch of watercolors, trying out new techniques, and for this month I am doing a color theme, same as I did for last month's bullet journal. So each week is going to be kind of different theme but with the same color set, if that makes sense. For June, I wanted to do kind of like forest greens and deep greens with a little bit of brown and neutral tones alongside with a gold accent. So that's kind of going to be the plan throughout the whole month, but each week is going to be slightly different theme, just using the same colors. Hopefully that makes sense. I did something similar for last month, but instead of using green, I did browns and neutrals with rose gold. I can link that up at the top if you want to check out last month's. June is an exciting month. This is when everything is like super green and super growing and super blooming, so I'm really excited to see all of those colors out in the world. My favorite thing for June is to go out on walks, like first thing in the morning where the air is still cool and crisp and it doesn't get too hot by the afternoon. What is your favorite thing to do in June? I'd like to know. Leave a comment down below and let's see what other fun ideas you guys can share with me to do in June. I did the main monthly page, just like a big round abstract sphere of those colors that I'll be using throughout the month, and on the page next to it I'm doing kind of a layout of all the days. Each day has its own rows, so I can put down like important dates or birthdays or any events or things like that that I need to remember or be mindful of. And up on top of that page I'm doing a little decorative leaf spread. This is kind of I'm fairly new to watercolorings, though I've been dabbling at it for about a year, but I've never really perfected it, so don't mind my mistakes, I suppose. I'm also going to be using these Coliro gold watercolor paints for the second time. First time I've used it was doing a swatch test, and that video is going to be up in about 2 days, just to add some decals and accents, and it is like you're literally painting with liquid gold. It is amazing, and if you want to see the full review of it, just stick around. It's going to be posted on Friday. So at the top is going to be a quote, and it's a quote that I've recently come across, but it's become kind of a favorite quote, and I felt like it goes really well with the green theme and the nature theme and June theme. And the quote is, "Adopt the peace of nature. Her secret is patience." And I feel like that really hits home, especially to me. I'm always in like a go, go, go mentality where I want to get everything done right away, as soon as possible, as much as possible. So I feel like I really need to internalize this and learn patience, and I'm hoping to achieve that. I'm going to be trying to perfect my handwriting, and that really takes effort to slow down and be patient with it. So maybe that will be a good way to slow down and learn some patience. As you can see here, me writing out June in the gold watercolors. My handwriting for cursive is terrible, and I really need some practice, so hopefully this patience and practice will work out for the better. But this Coliro watercolor palette for golds and metallics is pretty amazing and so wonderfully pigmented. Alright, this page is going to be my perfect schedule that I'd like to stick to in June. I'm really not going to do it on camera. I kind of want to have it to be a little bit private, so I ended up skipping that page, and I'll decorate it after I'm done with the whole journal. And what I'm doing now is my habits page. I'm going to be working on 10 main habits. Hopefully it's going to work out. I didn't really use this spread as often as I wanted to last month. I'm looking to improve on it, and hopefully I'll be turning to this page more frequently because the page next to it is going to be a little bit more special and something that I would really like to work on. So these 10 habits I'm going to keep kind of private for this month. I'm just going to show you my decorative process of it. I messed up so badly. And I'd like you to introduce to my friend. This is an Echeveria succulent. She got big from when I first bought her, and she's kind of chilling in the top left corner with me. So as I said, I messed up pretty badly on this habits thing. There are only 30 days in June. The left column has 30 days. The right column ended up getting 33 days. So here I am with a whiteout trying to fix the situation that I caused. I wanted the spread to be fairly simple with just those simple colors, but I ended up using some stickers to cover up my boo-boo pretty much. So almost anything can be corrected in a bullet journal with some washi tape and stickers. Don't fret too badly if you ended up making a mistake. Not a big deal. Just find a creative way around it and move on. That's what I've learned last month from the dozens of mistakes that I've made then. And this is what I learned this month as well. So I ended up putting those stickers in the center, and that helped cover up that little mistake spot. I rewrote the numbers on the right side, and it turned out not too bad. I think it even worked out even better with the stickers rather than having the page be simple. It gave it a little bit more character and more personality, I suppose, and it definitely helped stick with the theme. There's just something so fun by using stickers in your journal. You don't really waste them, you get to look back at them, and they just make everything cute and quaint and help cover up those boo-boos in your journal. So on I go, finishing the numbers properly. Alright, on the other page, I want to do kind of leaves of gratitude. At least that's what I'm going to call that page. I'm using little sticky note leaves from my Sticky Club subscription packs a couple months back. And every day, well, I'm going to place 30 leaves, one for each day, and I want to come back to this every day and write down something that I'm grateful for. So it took a little bit of finessing trying to figure out how to fit 30 of those leaves on the page because it doesn't seem like it's much, but they do take up quite a lot of room. So I was struggling a little bit and trying to squish them in, but it ended up working out. So this is my leaves of gratitude, as I said, and hopefully I will use this page. I'm really looking forward to using it and just being a little bit more mindful of what I already have and be thankful for what I have and what I have in life. I said have way too much, but I think you get my point, right? And since these were more sticky notes and not stickers, I ended up having to glue them down. So I used crafter's tape. I think that's what it's called. Yes, crafter's tape, to help stick them onto the page so that they won't, blow off or move around when I flip through the pages. I think overall this page came out quite cute and quirky, and the fact that I used those stickers on the other page to kind of correct my mistake, it ended up tying it very well together, and I really like the way it came out. It kind of reminds me of like Peter Pan's outfit a little bit. If you've seen like those older movies of Peter Pan and it's just a bunch of leaves sewn together, that's kind of what it's giving me the vibes of. But otherwise, I like this page. I think it's cute. I'm really hoping on using it and being more mindful on my day-to-day, I suppose. I also went through with a couple markers and just connected it with vines and lines just to give it a little bit more personality, I suppose, and to use up some of the room of the white pages in the background. What is something you're looking forward to do in June? Are you looking towards creating a certain habit or maybe a certain gratitude part, or maybe you're even doing the one line a day? I want to know what kind of mindfulness you're going to be doing during June, and maybe I can steal your idea and incorporate it into my next month's journal. So comment down below. I'd also like to know, because I'm curious and nosy, if you've ever done a spread in your journal where you thought you'd use it and it would be really awesome and cool, but you never ended up flipping back to it or seeing it or using it. Share those thoughts with me as well, because I'm pretty curious to know kind of how people journal, and I don't know, I want to learn more about my fans and subscribers and people who interact with me and my YouTube page. So just let's be friends. Talk about journals and stickers and all sorts of fun stationery goodies. I'm putting the paper towel down just in case that gel pen didn't dry fully, and let's start off with the first week spread of June. Woohoo! I wanted to do something, well, green and brown, and I kind of wanted to do like a fruit. So what kind of fruit is green and brown? And I went with a kiwi. It is a beautiful green color and it has like the brown outer skin layer, and that's kind of what I wanted to do the theme for this week. I'm using just a lotion top cap to do the circles all the way around. I already outlined of where I want kind of the main planning section to be, and then I went on to practice how to draw a kiwi, because I've never painted a kiwi before. So that was my first time ever doing a kiwi. And I did it with watercolors, just using a basic palette. I did some mistakes that could be improved, and I did improve a little bit at least when I went into my actual journal. But if you're trying out something new, it's completely okay to practice on something else before you put it into your planner. Or you could just put it into your planner and wing it. Whatever floats your boat. I decided to practice it just to see how the watercolors will react and how it'll look and what the final product is going to be. So my practice kiwi came out not perfect, but a little bit better than I expected it to be, and I was fairly satisfied with making a whole week spread just covered in these like bright green kiwis, and I was really excited. Here are my reference photos. Lots of reference photos on Google Images. So after being fully satisfied with how my practice came out, I went through the whole journal and did pretty much the same thing, just improved a little bit where I thought I needed some improvement, like making the brown part a little bit wider and using a smaller brush for most of the details, and then using a couple different pens to put in the blacks. But I feel like this came out so cute, and it's giving me like an inspiration just to do maybe a whole month of just different fruity spreads. I don't know, comment down below if that's something you'd like to see, but I was pretty excited that it came out decent enough for me to be excited about it, if that makes sense. But I feel like it really went well with the color theme that I chose for the month, and it turned out cute, like really cute. A tip that I'd like to share with you if you are starting new with watercolors, and I'm pretty new with watercolors, is to be okay with it being a little messy. I don't think watercolors are meant to be super precise. Maybe some artwork is, but doing something that's like a little bit messy, it still works out and looks great. It kind of gives it that very artsy appeal, I suppose. That's the word. More artsy, more hand-drawn-ish. I'm not entirely sure how to call it. But I've learned that it's okay to have it be messy, and that's kind of what I did. I had it somewhat look like it, but be a little bit runny or watery, and it came out decent. The little spots that I didn't end up painting anything in kind of look like little highlighted spots, and I don't know. Comment down below your tips if you have any recommendations for me what to do with watercolors, or if you have been practicing for a while and you know more of how to properly draw a kiwi, because I'm down for learning. All the products that I'm going to be using will be linked down in the description below. If you are curious to check it out, they're all going to be Amazon links. And I don't really use expensive equipment or expensive stuff. Pretty much as long as it kind of works for me, that's what I use. So feel free to check out the links down in the description below. Another tip for doing, drawing kiwis, I suppose, with watercolors is that it's okay to kind of mix the media and not just use watercolors. So I ended up using markers for those fine lines and details in the seeds. Oh, and I'm using like the gold paints to do little dots in the background just to fill up some of that white space and make it look more complete and more full. I'm really liking the way this spread is turning out. I like how fun and whimsical and colorful it is and how bright it is. So each time I turn to that page, I'm going to be pretty excited to see it. I'm kind of sad that it's just for 1 week. I would totally enjoy the whole month being like this, but I know myself and I'm going to get pretty bored by looking at the same exact design over and over again. It's kind of what ended up happening when I was using the Happy Planner, and how all the pages pretty much were the same from one to another, and I had to input a lot of creative process into it to change it up. But here I can input a lot of creative process and it's completely my own and custom made, and the journal is smaller, so that's why I kind of ended up switching from the Happy Planner to a bullet journal. And then again, a bullet journal has such a great community. There's so many wonderful videos on it, so many creative people, and I just adore watching Plan With Me spread, so I figured I'd make a couple of my own as well. Do you have a favorite bullet journal YouTuber? Because I would love to check out their videos. I know Jenny Journals and Amanda Rach Lee. I've watched a lot of their videos and they do amazing artistic work and they're just phenomenal. Do you know of any other fruits or vegetables that are cute and pretty that are green and brown? Because all I could have thought of was kiwi. I know I could have done a lime, but a lime is just mainly green. And I don't really know of any other fruits that are green and brown. I don't know, I'm curious. I need to look them up now. And now I'm doing the outline of like the main planning squares. I'm not entirely sure what they're called, and I feel like it just helps them stand out a little bit more and push those kiwis and drawings more towards the background, and it seems a little bit less messy and more kind of put together. I think that's the word. Wow, I'm having a really difficult time talking today for some reason. So I used the brown for the outline to help highlight that brown color a little bit more, since it was kind of more overtaken by the greenness of the kiwis. And then I ended up using my stampers, my stamp set, my stamps to label the weekly days for Monday through Sunday, and the top square is for notes. Wow. Oh my gosh, I completely started through all of that. I am so sorry. I I don't do scripts for when I do voiceovers on my videos. I just kind of do it real time of me watching the video and talking about it. So that's why I mess up so often. Because sometimes I just cannot think of that right word. But look at how cute these kiwis came out. Ah! I love the way they look. I love the gold dots in the background. It just like really fills up the page, and it just makes my heart so happy. Really, really excited how this week came out. Alright, so on to the second week of June. Woohoo! I'm sticking with the greens and browns theme for this week, well, and throughout the whole entire month. And this week I wanted to kind of have it be like a gardening type of week, or like in my garden or outdoorsy, something dealing with plants and planting plants and growing plants. My first initial thought was to turn the planting boxes kind of into like planter boxes, if that makes sense. So I ended up going with a marker outlining all of them, and then I ended up going with a thicker marker of the same color to kind of give it a 3D effect and to make it look more like a planter box or a planting box. I'm not really sure what they're called. The effect came out decent. The planting squares, or whatever they're called, did end up looking a little bit more 3D, and the rest kind of went a little bit downhill. Since, you know, planter boxes, you end up planting stuff inside the boxes, but I needed to leave those planting squares blank so I can write in kind of what needs to be done for the week, if that makes sense. So I ended up starting off with like little doodles and then covering them up with stickers later on, because the stickers ended up going alongside more with the theme, and it was just not, I don't know, my initial vision of what I had visualized in my brain didn't really equate to what ended up happening on the pages. But I ended up just trusting the process and covering it with stickers, and then covering it with more stickers, and then covering it with more stickers. So this week's spread came out not too bad. At the end, I do love these washi stickers. I ended up getting a ton of them off of Wish a couple months ago, and they were really inexpensive, and they were really, really good. They're really simple and very translucent-y or washi-y, which was great for this type of spread, and they just really worked out really well, especially with the colors, was just how green they are, and they had little bits of yellow and little bits of brown, so a ton of warm tones that went with the color scheme for this month. And there was also this sticker set that I got from Sticky Club subscription. It was more of like a black and white set, so I took markers and decided to color the stickers in and give it more of a hue of the colors that complement the spread a little bit more. And because it's like a washi type of sticker set or sticker pad, that it ended up coming out better than I expected, and I was so excited that I could color in those stickers and use those colors to go alongside with the weekly spread. I was pretty excited. It's my initial idea, so if you guys need to change up colors and it's a washi color for black and white, you can color it in. Then I took a paper towel, dabbed off any excess just in case it didn't combine or didn't sit with the sticker properly. I literally cannot talk for this voiceover. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry, guys. Washi stickers. Washi stickers can be colored on, and they're pretty easy to color over with some plain markers. So my initial thought of turning it into a garden spread kind of came through, but in a totally different visualization than what I first anticipated. I definitely had a lot of plants, a lot of gardening tools, a lot of outdoorsy landscaping stuff throughout the page, and it came out fairly cute. I kind of like that sticker congeniality, or like that sticker denseness all over the pages, which truly kind of, I don't know, brings joy to my heart. I love stickers, and now I can flip to this weekly page and see all of these gorgeous stickers. Do you guys ever get like sticker anxiety, or I'm not sure how to properly call it, where you just like this sticker so much and you want to use it, but you just don't know where to put it so that it's not a waste of a sticker? Sometimes I kind of have those moments with my stickers where I'm too kind of scared to use it, and then I have to kind of like calm myself down and be like, you know, it's okay. There's always more stickers for you to use. You can always get more stickers, and you don't have to wait for that perfect opportunity for that sticker. But placing them in my bullet journal, it's kind of a completely different feeling, since I know I'm going to be using it daily, and I'm definitely going to see these stickers way more often. And it'll be pretty cool to flip back maybe next year through this journal and just to see how creative I was with these stickers, and they're preserved in time, so to speak. So doing a bullet journal kind of lessens my sticker anxiety, if that makes sense. So here is this weekly spread. I do like the way that the colors came out, and I think it's not perfect, but it worked out quite well. I do like it. Also, let me know down in the comments after you've watched this video which weekly spread is your favorite. So for some reason, I ended up losing footage of how I created this weekly spread, but it was fairly simple. I just used a stencil for the side designs. My camera does this wonderful thing that if my drive runs out of room, it makes no noise and no warning at all. It just turns off. Yeah, it's fantastic. And my number one visitor, my number one fan, this is Lila. She always tends to pop up on my creative videos and demand snuggles and cuddles, and then my whole table is covered in cat hair. It's wonderful. Alright, so for the last week of June, or almost last week of June, I decided to do kind of like polka dots, but more condensed polka dots, or bubbles, or just circles. I don't know. What is the difference between just regular bubbles or circles and polka dots? Is there a difference? I'm not entirely sure. So I did kind of polka dotted bubbles. I don't know what these called. Dots, colorful dots, all in the color scheme of the monthly planner. The color schemes of greens and browns and golds. I really like the way it was turning out. I was pretty excited. My cat really loves to leave a trail of cat fur all over the place. So I was really enjoying the way that these bubbles or circles were coming out, and I really liked kind of the color scheme. So the greens and browns really went well together, and I feel like this just, I don't know, it makes me smile each time I flip to this page. I guess that's the whole point of a bullet journal, just to create pages that you enjoy and that make you smile and that bring out your creative side. Or there are simplistic bullet journals where you don't have to be creative. It's all kind of in the user and what makes you happy. I like to be creative, I like to draw, I like to doodle, so creating something like this and using this weekly spread would definitely bring a little bit more joy to my week rather than having something a little bit more simpler. Although my husband, on the other hand, looks at it and then he goes, it looks too crowded. He likes things that are very plain Jane and simplistic and minimalistic. But he has a very mathematical brain and I have a very creative brain, so I guess opposites kind of attract, and to each his own. I also love the way these Colira watercolors accented with the gold and just made them all shiny and wonderful and gorgeous. Ugh, this might be one of my favorite spreads that I have done. Well, I think I think the kiwi is my favorite spread for this month, and this is my second favorite spread, or at least this one was a little bit more simpler to make than the kiwi spread. The kiwi spread required a little bit more time and practice, but in any case, I like this color theme and I like this spread. It came out to my liking, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the creative process of this as well. What are your thoughts on bullet journals? Are you more of a creative person or more of a minimalist person for how you use your journals? And I'm just curious as to how people create their bullet journals, pretty much. It's wonderful to see people's processes and just kind of learn more about different techniques, different uses, different spreads, different themes. It is wonderful and amazing, and there are so many delightful, talented artists out there. I ended up doing the outlines for my main week planner spots in a dark green, just to kind of bring out that green a little bit more, since I did a whole bunch of those golden dots, since I just love the shimmer of that golden watercolor. And I took out the stamping pad to stamp the days of the week, and instead of using like a stamp ink, I decided to use my marker to kind of go alongside with the green theme. It came out a little bit messier than I expected it to come out. It didn't really give it that like smooth stamp, but it ended up giving the page a little bit more charm, a little bit more artisty vibes, I suppose, and it wasn't too bad overall. Do you have any fun plans planned in June? I know travel is still kind of an iffy topic with all of this stuff going on, and hopefully you can come up with a lot of fun things to do at home, but hopefully you guys are all staying safe and sane inside because of this whole COVID-19 thing, and hopefully your family is doing well and you guys are all doing well. Just look at the way that gold shimmers. I love it. It's like almost like I used gold foil on them, and it just came out so good. The polka dots could be a little bit better of a rounder circle and not as messy, but it practice, right? And the last page is my running to-do list. This is the most used spread of all times for me in the bullet journal. I constantly turn to it. I end up filling up all of it and then adding more pages to it, and it just helps me stay on track with all the stuff that I want to get done, need to get done, looking forward to get done, either it be chores or anything with my videos or things like that. Okay, and now for the flip through of June. I'm enjoying this whole color theme and those kiwis and the gardening stuff and this simple spread. Oops, missed the simple spread. This simple spread, which kind of reminds me of Elsa's dress and the polka dots. Let me know which spread is your favorite. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, you know, that whole thing. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!